Shalom, brothers and sisters. This today the Most High Yahuah has made. We rejoice and be glad in it. I want to give this video to the Gentiles because the Most High has been having me on about the Torah, right? And how he been telling us, the Israelites, we need to obey by the Torah. But also, he got me into Acts about what Paul and them, when they was going to go out and preach to the Gentiles. To go and do ministry out there, they was also letting the Gentiles know that they don't have to be exactly like the Israelites, because they had so many, you know how the Most High gave us all these laws and statutes and, you know, the Torah, how we should live. When Moses was directing us out, how he was telling us how we should live, and it was for the Israelites. And we are held a higher standard than the Gentiles. So the Most High got me to the point, like, telling me that the Gentiles don't have to be exactly like go by the Torah as we did, as we are going, because they are not the Israelites. But if they want to adapt to following the Torah to the Israelites, then that's okay. They can do that. But don't feel like they have to, because it put like a burden, like so much strain on them. I'm trying to get it like this. Like, they'll feel like it's too much that they can't handle, like a burden, that they have to do so much to be into the kingdom. And the Most High don't have it like that with them. Like, we are held more accountable, and we are his of our, you know, we are this tribe and this nation. We have to follow by these rules, and Gentiles don't have to follow the Torah. But they do have to follow certain rules, but not the Torah. And I'm going to get on to this, and also I'm going to give to y'all what I put on the community post, because also I told y'all that I had a dream, and they were saying that they changing the Judah's Torah law. And those people over there, the synagogues of Satan, we know these people that all, I put it on the community post, y'all. I don't just keep like babbling on about it. I don't want to keep on going on about it, but these people, synagogues of Satan, just understand why Hollywood, like it is, they telling you exactly how they are, with messing with children, unaliving people, just how on television. Then they show the movies, just how they get on with the movies, the entertainment, the media. They pushing this stuff because this is how they are. And they do this, and they don't care about being evil and doing all those sinful acts, because they also apply by I think it's called they call it the King Torah, but all of it's called the Talmud. Yeah. What did I do with that notes? It's called a Tamla. Yeah. The Talmud or something like that. I put it on the community post, y'all. I got so much stuff I've been trying to keep up with. And also the Gentiles, they shouldn't go along with those evil people either, because they are synagogues of Satan. They shouldn't go with these evil practices that they're doing, because they doing rituals and sacrifices and unaliving people, and they say they believe that's what they should do, because that's in their Torah. That's Satan's Torah, y'all. And you know they all with the masonry in them. But this lets you know how the world is ran by those. And they say they not seeing Hitler's, and this is exactly why they apply by the rules, because this is how they book is. They say this is their law to do all these evil things. In that y'all, I forgot the name of the book. The Talmud, some kind of book. And you know how they always say that you have to bless them over there, and if you don't, you'll curse. You bless, if you bless them, and you'll curse. If you're not, Satan is the opposite. So of course he's gonna have you to go support the evil that they're doing. Once you don't know no better, then that's different. But once you know better, you do better. If you that's supporting Satan kingdom. That's supporting it. Give them money. They say you got to be slaves and give them money. It was so much information to these people. Y'all just look. This is why they don't care for Yahusha, because they don't believe in him. That is a synagogue of Satan. But the Most High been having me on about the Torah and had me with them. Y'all, them people evil over there. And it's just not with them. They everywhere. They're like that brotherhood. It's all of them. They all about slavery, genociding people. They're about taking over land. Just how they did our ancestors and continue to do us, they do multiple other people like that too. Just like the Nazis and how they are against certain people. They're just the same people, y'all. And people supporting and getting money in it and having you going talking about you got a pastor and all them, they're telling you to go and support you. They supporting Satan. In the word it says we shouldn't come into agreement and with none of that stuff and no covenant and agreement. And instead you reap what you sow. So also if you that's why also the Most High tells us about planting seeds, sowing seeds into different like people. If you sow a seed to evil people, then you reap evil. If you put it into a fertile ground and a good ground, you get good word. You know, it flourish. Y'all, just so much going on. But let me get into this because y'all get to understand. Go on the community post, y'all. People don't want to talk about them folks, but them people send God to Satan, helping Satan support. You supporting Satan on his evil doing. Going around, they unallowing children. People, just how they did all people and ancestors and other people. And as I'm doing research, they doing other people the same way. It's evil, y'all. So let's go back to the Gentiles. So the Most High gave me Acts 15, and this is about the Gentiles. And they was also, the Gentiles was confused about the circumcision. Paul letting them know that they don't have to do all these things to enter into the kingdom. And also they saved by grace, and they have faith in salvation, right? Have faith in Yahusha, okay? And Yahuah. But look at this. Let's get into this, y'all. We're going to Acts 15. A certain man came down from Judea and taught the brethren, unless you are circumcised according to the custom of Moses, you cannot be saved. Now, one brethren came down and told the Gentiles this, that they cannot be saved because how they expect them to be like Moses. Like Moses taught Israel. They said, therefore, when Paul and Barnabas had no small dissension and dispute with them, they determined that Paul and Barnabas and a certain others of them should go to Jerusalem to the apostles and elders about this question. So it was a question they were saying. So being sent on their way by the church, they passed through, I guess that's Phoenicia, I don't know that word, Phoenicia and Samaria, describing the conversion of the Gentiles, and they caused great joy to all the brethren. And when they had come to Jerusalem, they were received by the church and the apostles and the elders, and they reported all things to Elohim had done with them. But some of the sect of the Pharisees who believed rose up, saying, it is necessary to be circumcised and to command them to keep the law of Moses. So the Pharisee, one of them that believed. Now the apostles and elders came together to consider this matter, and when there had been much dispute, Peter rose up and said to them, men and brethren, you know that a good while ago Elohim chose among us, that by my mouth the Gentiles should hear the word of the gospel and believe. So Elohim, who knows the heart, acknowledged them by giving them the Holy Spirit. He know the heart of them, and he gave them the Holy Spirit, just as he did to us, and made no distinction between us and them, purifying their hearts by faith. Have faith. Now, therefore, why do you test Elohim by putting a yoke on the neck of the disciples, which neither our fathers nor we were able to bear? But we believe through the grace of Yahusha HaMashiach, we shall be saved in the same manner as they. Then all the multitude kept silent and listened to Barnabas and Paul, declaring how many miracles and wonders Elohim had worked through them among the Gentiles. And after they had become silent, James answered, saying, men and brethren, listen to me. Simon has declared how Elohim at the first visit the Gentiles to take out of them a people for his name. And with this, the word of the prophets agree, just as it is written. After this I will return, and I will build the tabernacle of David, which has fallen down. I will rebuild its ruins, and I will set it up, so that the rest of the mankind may seek the Elohim. Even all the Gentiles who are called by my name, because he has some called by his name, say that the Adonai, who does all these things, known to Elohim for eternity, are all his works. Therefore I judge that we should not trouble those from among the Gentiles who are turning to Elohim. Do not trouble them, but that we write to them to abstain from things polluted by idols, from sexual immorality, from things strangled, and from blood. For Moses has had throughout many generations those who preach him in every city, being read in the synagogues every Sabbath. Then it pleased the apostles and the elders with the whole church to send chosen men of their own company to Antioch, where Paul and Barnabas, namely Judas, who was also named Barnabas, and Silas, leading the men among the brethren. They wrote this letter by them, the apostles and the elders and the brethren, to the brothers who are the Gentiles in Antioch, Syria, and Cilicia, greetings. Now they said brethren who are Gentiles, talking to them. Since we have heard that some who went out from us have troubled you with words, unsettling your souls, saying you must be circumcised and keep the law. So now they're going to correct them and say, I'm letting you know, because they talked to the elders and the apostles, so they all come to agreement with the Most High. They said, now we knew that some came among you, and they had told you need to be circumcised and have the law, but let me correct you. It says, to whom we gave no such commandment. They didn't even give these people a commandment to tell them people this. Whoever this was first giving a word, telling them that they need to follow the law of Moses, they coming back and say, after they got through talking to the apostles and the elders, saying, hey, we didn't give no such commandment of that they should follow the law, that they should be circumcised and keep the law, to whom we gave no such commandment. It seems good to us, being assembled with one accord, to send chosen men to you with our beloved Barnabas and Paul, men who have risked their lives for the name of our Yahusha HaMashiach. We have therefore sent Judas and Silas, who will also report the same thing by word of mouth. So now they're saying, hey, we sending another word. We sending these people here that are more guaranteed with the word, because whoever was before, just like now, you have some Hebrew Israelites telling the people, the Gentiles, that they not welcome into the kingdom, telling them they not saved. So the thing is that when you look at those Hebrew Israelites, they put a badge also on the street corner and stuff, and telling them people that they not welcome to the kingdom because they not coming through the law of Moses. It's really putting a bad taste in Gentiles' mouth. They don't want to think about coming into the kingdom. Just like in this Acts 15, how the ones ahead, and even some of that Pharisee that was going around telling them that they can't enter into the kingdom because they not going through, they have to first go through the law of Moses. We was one lost. I know at first I was lost at the first beginning. I didn't know nothing about the law of Moses until you get to know your word. But they not obligated to come through with the law of Moses. First they have to come in and to believe and receive, and grace is extended to them. Just like grace is extended to us, but it's extended to them. But we are held more accountable. Even with telling them about they not circumcised and that they have to keep the law. And here they send Silas and Paul and them to correct them. It says, who will also report the same thing by word of mouth. For it seems good to the Holy Spirit and to us to lay upon you no greater burden than these necessary things. It's the only things you really need to do. It says that these are the necessary things, that you abstain from things offered to idols. Don't be offering no things to idols. From blood, from these things strangled, and from sexual immorality. If you keep yourselves from these, you will do well. But first, you also know they gotta have faith and believe in Yahuah and Yahusha. They gotta receive Him and know that and say that He is their God. They already know that. They already know they have to follow that commandment to love Him with all their heart, with all their soul. But if they follow these things, also part of these things that they tell them to follow is in the Torah, but not all of the laws they gotta follow. Not all of them. It's saying abstain from things offered to idols, from blood, from things strangled, from sexual immorality, and if you keep yourself from these, you do well. Farewell. It says, so when they went off, they came back to Antioch, and when they had gathered a multitude together, they delivered the letter. When they had read it, they rejoiced over it and over its encouragement. Now Judas and Silas, themselves being a prophets also, exhorted and strengthened the brethren with many words. And after they had stayed there for a while, they were sent back with greetings from the brethren up to the apostles. The Torah, the Torah, the laws and the commandments and statutes are made for the Israelites. It's not made for the Gentiles. But it's certain stuff out of that the Gentiles have to follow to be able to be saved by salvation, by grace. Grace. Saved by grace. And it says, so when they went back to go tell them this stuff, they were so excited because it encouraged them. Like the black Hebrew Israelites on the corner, and if they go out there and picture that message that they ain't able to come into the kingdom, they gave up already. They done gave up, like, it's too much to follow, too much going on to be in that kingdom. It's too much going on. Or we don't follow the Torah and that, it write us off already. It's like they writing them off. Like it's blocking them from going into the kingdom. So look at this. It says, okay, they had strengthened them. They had strengthened the brethren with many words, and after they had stayed there for a time, they sent back with greetings for the brethren to the apostles. However, it seemed good to Silas to remain there. Paul and Barnabas also remained in Antioch, teaching and preaching the word of Elohim with many others also. Then after some days, Paul said to Barnabas, let us go back and visit the brethren in every city where we have preached the word of the Elohim and see how they are doing. So now Barnabas was determined to take with them John, called Mark. Then Paul insisted that they should not take with them the one who had departed from them in Pamphylia and had not gone with them to the work. Then the contention became so short that they parted from one another. And so Barnabas took Mark and sailed to Cyprus. But Paul chose Silas and departed, being commanded by the brethren to the grace of Elohim. And he went through Syria and Cilicia, strengthening the churches. And you know why he ain't having the one to come with him? Why he turned them away? Because them was probably the ones already in the first goal that was telling them this. Paul didn't want them to go with them because he already knew that they was going to turn to the Gentiles. That's why Paul tell them, no, you going to have who we've been having. You're not going to take that person. He had departed. When he said, when he said the one that departed, because in the first beginning it said that the ones that was with us and had came from us, they departed from them. Them was the ones that wasn't walking as the word of Yah told them to. They weren't able to go on to give the word and went over to Gentiles. Also, when departed, let me know they wanted. He must have not been on the full. You know how you have some that fall away. and they ain't on the same word, and they ain't on one accord with y'all work. So he departed. Then he came back, and y'all, you gotta be careful. That's why I said people in different people in different doctrines and everything. You gotta be careful even what's up under you, who are up under you, because they departed, and only the Gentiles can. They are able to keep these certain things. As long as they keep these certain things and keep the Most High and Yahuah first and have faith in Him and follow these other things, they're able to get into the kingdom. That they say by grace. Just the whole thing is saying by grace, that the Most High allows them to come into the kingdom by grace. By grace, they have faith and grace. Grace is extended to them. That they don't have to say that the kingdom is not only made for Israelites, it's welcome for the Gentiles too. The first people came along was telling them that they can't enter the kingdom. This is why I told you, sound just like them black Hebrew Israelites on the corner. Not all Hebrew Israelites, because some of them do teach some stuff. But the ones on the corner, they're preaching that hate, turning them around. Like I told you before, the Most High told me that they was turning them around because they didn't want the Gentiles to come into the kingdom. Because it said that if the Gentiles, when the full amount of the Gentiles come in, that Most High have for them to come in, then all of Israel be saved. Just like this, it was saying that they want the Gentiles to come in. It was just talking about the Gentiles should be coming in. It's a certain amount that was chosen. The Most High have that was chosen that come into the kingdom. But this is the whole thing, turning them away. Turning the Gentiles away, putting a big burden and stuff on their necks, like chains on their neck, a burden that they feel like they're not welcome to the kingdom. Yes, they are. They are welcome to the kingdom. This telling exactly what's going on today. It's Israelites, like Hebrews, like the Most High have us to tell us that, to let them know that the Gentiles are able to come into the kingdom. And there's some that say, no, the Gentiles ain't able to come into the kingdom. Yes, they are. By grace. Yes, they are. Yeah. And then there's some, Gentiles that come in and they adapt to our laws. They adapt to it. Because they want to live 100% like us. But you got to understand this. You got Hebrews and then you got Gentiles. They are able to come into the kingdom. But they have to follow certain rules. The Most High knows everybody's heart. It just said in here. He knows every man's heart. Even the Gentiles. That's why he say love. You walk in love. And there's so much going on and so much hate and stuff. And I see stuff going on with that AI that looks so real. And y'all just don't know, a lot of these AIs that people posting up and stuff, is people behind that stuff. And they pushing all kinds of agendas. Hate, everything with these AIs. Pushing sinful acts. Pushing hidden agendas. Causing division and chaos. And they're causing so much chaos going on. That AI stuff is taking over, and it looks so, making it look like it's so real, and people don't even know if it's real or not. Pushing so much hidden agendas, propaganda, and people do it. A lot of people, I ain't gonna say, a lot of people doing it too, because they earn their money off of it. Pushing this stuff, going into this to make money and views, and make money monetize. Y'all. That's why I say y'all better get from this stuff. Too much going on. Well, I just want to give y'all that real quick. And that's what the Most High been having me on.